Good morning and welcome to Discover Virtual Dallas ISD. My name is Mari Carmen Heroles, and I am with the Communications Department for Dallas ISD, and I will be hosting today. Buenos días, mi nombre es Mari Carmen Heroles, estoy con el Departamento de Comunicaciones de Dallas ISD y estamos hoy en Virtual Dallas ISD. Thank you for joining us. I am going to let people know how to access the interpretation feature for today, and then we will get to the agenda. Para tener acceso si podemos ir a la siguiente página, para la interpretación, por favor, pulsen en el símbolo del mundo que está en la parte inferior de su pantalla y escojan el idioma español. Si esto no funciona, salgan y vuelvan a intentarlo. Si por alguna razón no pueden tener acceso, utilicen el Q&A que también se encuentra en la parte inferior de su pantalla para mandarnos un mensaje y así podremos ayudarlo a tener acceso a la interpretación al español. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are having interpretation in Spanish, and I just let people know how to access it. This morning, we are going to go over some of the programs that are offered at middle school and high school in the more than 100 specialty schools and programs that Dallas ISD has to offer. We are also going to do a walkthrough of the application. We were not able to do that in the previous webinar because we had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but I think we have resolved that, so it should be fine now. And we're also going to answer your questions. And if you are anything like me, I will, if I think of a question now and have to wait to ask it like in 30 minutes, I will have forgotten the question. So what we can do is type in your question into the Q&A right now, and you can we'll save them for later, and we will answer the questions in the Q&A, but we will also answer them live. This is a webinar that's being recorded, and we will have a recording available next week in the same area where you registered at the same where you registered, so you can access it. If there's anything that you may have missed that you want to watch it again, then it'll be available. So if we can start now. Next slide. One of the things that I wanted to cover is that we have a phone bank today from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. You can call 972-925-5560. That is our number for the One Centers, our folks who are experts in the application, and they also have information about these programs. So if you have any questions after attending this webinar, or you run into any problems with the application, they're the ones who can help you out. Any information about these programs or the application you can find at www.dallasisd.org/discover. You can also call this number, not just during the phone bank today, but during the week, Monday through Friday, from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. So keep that in mind as we go through the webinar today. We can go to the next slide. Next, we will have Valerie Barron go through the walkthrough of the application. But first, I just wanted to point out that you can email enroll@dallasisd.org if you need any help. Or you can go to one of the One Centers for help in person. You can find the locations for the One Centers at www.dallasisd.org/one. And they are super helpful, and they will be happy to be there for you. So, Valerie, if you want to.
Thank you, Maria Carmen. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If that's okay, I'm sending a request now.
So, yes.
Thank you. Okay, so I wanted to start off with, let me know if y'all can see it.
Yep, we can see it.
Perfect. So this is the website that Maria Carmen was mentioning. If you are wanting to apply using this website, right below the video here, there's a button here that says Choose Dallas ISD Application. That's a quick way of going to your parent account login, which will look like this. Now, if you do not, if you're not applying through that website, you can simply type in choose.dallasisd.org and it will take you to this parent login. To the right-hand side, I wanted to point out, for those of you who do not have a parent account with Schoolmint, you can do so by putting in your first name, last name, and creating a password to create your Schoolmint account. If by any chance you already have a Schoolmint account and that is associated to your Google account, you can log in using this here, the login with Google button. It will also automatically log you in to your parent account. However, if you do not have it linked, you can select the email that you set up for your account or the phone number that you have associated to your Schoolmint account and the password here, and then log in. I'll go ahead and log into my account here. Give me one moment. Okay. So by logging into your account, the parent dashboard will look like this. It will have the welcome message at the top with your name. And for testing purposes, I have created this test parent account. One of the things that I wanted to touch on briefly was the school year. The system will automatically default to the 25-26 school year. And that is because, as you can tell here, applications are currently open for the 25-26 school year. Now, one of the things that is a best practice for every parent, and we want to share this information with you, once you're in the dashboard dashboard page, please scroll down to the bottom of the page. By scrolling down to the bottom of the page, you will see this section appear. Now, again, for testing purposes, I have created some test students down here. You will see your student's name in each individual student tile. So your student name will appear here. So that's a good indication that you already have your students linked to your account. Right below that tile, you will see the test application tab. So in this case, it would have the student's name and application. If you already have a student account, that is where we would want you to click on. Click on the student's name and then click on, or make sure that you are on that application tab. If, however, you do not see any tiles down here, that means you do not have students linked to your parent account. So that's when you would then click on this button here that says, let's begin application. By selecting this button, you are creating a new student. So when you select it, it will give you the option to, it's going to ask a question, has a student ever been in Dallas ISD? If not, you will select no. If, however, the student has been in Dallas ISD, possibly in a couple years back, or you already have a student currently attending a Dallas ISD school, you will be asked to provide the student's ID number and the student's name. If you do not have that information, you can contact the current school that the student is currently attending. Again, it must be a Dallas ISD school to get that information. And that's to create that new student account. So again, just for testing purposes, I have created this student here, and I did want to show you all the process of applying. The first page will be the language page. A parent can select the language here as soon as you open up the application to start, and you can select from English or Spanish. The following page is the student's page, in which you would be required to provide the student's information. And then the next page is the parent guardian information. You would be providing your information as a parent guardian and the address in which you live. If you did not provide your phone number when you created the account, you will be required to add your phone number and an email. And this is again for communication from the Schoolman platform, sending you emails to your email to let you know if there's any messages that have been sent to you. And just as a quick note, the messages here will also indicate a number if there are some messages that you have possibly not read of campuses reaching out to you. The fourth page is the school selection page. Now, a few things to touch on here. You can select up to 5 schools to apply. So a total of 5 schools. Now, for Magnet, when you're applying to 5 schools and you want to apply to Magnet schools, the 5 schools you have selected, out of the 5, if you wanted to apply to Magnet, you can only select up to 2 Magnet schools. So if you're applying to 5 schools, you can select 2 Magnet schools, and the other 3 can be any other program. If you're applying only to transformation schools, all 5 of them can be transformation schools, or they can be all neighborhood schools. The only exception is with Magnet. With Magnet, there is a limit of 2. So again, the total is 5. And just as a brief example here, the schools are listed in alphabetical order. Now, you will select your 5 choices. It doesn't have to be 5. You can select 1 if you would like. Each campus will have a program title. So, for instance, Arthur Kramer, it is a neighborhood school. If Arthur Kramer is not your zone school and you wish to apply to that school, then you would select Arthur Kramer Neighborhood Transfer. They also have a two-way dual language program. If you wanted to apply to that program, you would select that school as well. So that would be 2 out of your 5. Then you can select another campus. That would be your 3rd, 4th, and if you wanted to apply to another campus, you can definitely select it. Past that, if you wanted to select more than 5, as you can see, it will not let you. The next page is going to be one of the important pages, and this is going to be your ranked schools. Now, the ranked school, let me go ahead and let it run so I can show you the ranked page. I do apologize, it's running a little slow. Okay, so once you get to your rank page, it will show you the schools that you have selected. Now, it's important to know that this selection, you are going to be ranking your schools in order of preference. Number 1 will be your most preferred school. The second would be your next preferred school, and so on and so forth. So if Dealey is where I really want it to go, or where I want my student to go, you would move it to the number 1 slot. And then according to the way that you want your schools to be selected, that's how you would rank them. Okay, you can toggle on this section here and kind of toggle back and forth. So this is important because how you rank your school selections will determine which one offer your student may receive. So that is how you would go through the ranking page there. The next section, once you complete it, it will take you to the confirmation page. Once you go to the confirmation page, I did want to show briefly what that would look like on the dashboard. Once you have submitted your applications, under each student account, that is where you would take a look at what schools you have applied to. You can also update the ranking here on the main dashboard page. So from here, if you got a message from a campus letting you know that you are missing a document, you can click on the edit selected school page. This will prompt you back to the applications you have sent. And as you can see on the left-hand side, it's only going to allow you to submit or re-upload a document that you might have missed. Remember, you will need to delete that document and upload a new one. Once you have done that, make sure to click on continue until you get to the confirmation page again. And that is pretty much the application walkthrough. Thank you so much for allowing me to share that.
Well, thank you for giving us that information, and we're going to go back in a second here to the PowerPoint. Thank you. And now we are going to remember 972-925-5560. This number like lives in my head till January 31st, which is the deadline for applications. That is the number for our phone bank that we have until 1 today. If you have it, just a reminder, if you have any questions, don't raise your hand because there's so many participants. It's really hard to let you talk. The best way to get your question answered is to put it in the Q&A. So if you have a question, type it in there. We've already gotten quite a few, and sometime soon we'll start answering them, and we'll definitely answer them at the end of the presentations. Next, we will start our presentations of all the different programs, and we will have Jorge Flores talk about student transfers.
Thank you very much, Mari Carmen. Good morning, everyone. As you heard from Mari Carmen and Valerie, my colleague, regarding all the programs and how to go ahead and apply, I want to talk to you about legacy schools. Now, your legacy schools for your students are actually your neighborhood schools. Oops. If we can just go back a little bit, one more. But your legacy schools are your neighborhood schools, and these legacy schools for secondary, we have 90 plus legacy schools that are your zone schools. And these schools are rich in history, where you may have a grandparent who has attended the school that the grandchild is attending. And they have great academic programs. While you'll hear about some great programs here in just a little bit, our legacy schools also have some great academic programs. We're keeping up with the nation in regarding to providing every type of program that we can in regarding to your child's already zoned school. As you know already, we do have grandparents who are attended some of our schools and their grandchildren, and that means that we have a very involved community, especially in our elementary, in our middle schools, in our high schools. We have some very involved community members in our legacy schools. Now, every child in grades K to 12 has an assigned legacy school, but a student transfer allows you to go ahead and apply to attend a different legacy school. And you'll do it through the application process and run through the lottery. Transfers are available on space. They're determined by how much available space is for the grade level that you're applying. So you may get a seat offer, or you may get put on a wait list. You also have some schools look at, especially when they have a long wait list, they'll look at the grades, attendance, even conduct records of the students, but mainly they will be through the available space available at that school and for that grade level. Once you get your child onto a different legacy school and a transfer, they get to remain there for up to the highest grade level that's available at that school. So no need to keep reapplying every year. That will be now your assigned school through a transfer. One thing to keep in mind that's a little bit different than our other programs is when you choose to attend another legacy school through a student transfer, there is no transportation to that school. Oftentimes, though, the school that you're trying to apply to, it may be even closer than your assigned school, so that may not be an issue at all. But just know that. But we look forward to hearing from you. We do have 3 Valerie and Mari Carmen mentioned, we have 3 enrollment centers to serve you in person. Our North Center is at 9400 North Central Expressway. We have one on the east side on where to serve our parents in our community near Fair Park, the State Fair, and we have one on south inside Kathleen Gilliam Collegiate Academy. So we're here to go ahead and assist you by phone, in person, and we want to have you join and keep being part of the Dallas ISD family. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jorge. And next we have our magnet programs. And I know there's a lot of questions about the magnet programs already. So hopefully quite a lot of them will be answered when we have our experts in the magnet. But I don't know if it's going to be Nancy or Shatera who are going to be.
It will be me, Nancy.
Okay,
thank
great.
you, Mari Carmen. Thank you. Magnet programs. So one of the main differences between magnet programs and other choice programs is that magnet programs do have eligibility requirements, meaning that students must meet a minimum GPA and a minimum test score on either STAR or norm reference testing. Once students apply, students will be required to upload their proof of address, the most recent report card, and test scores. If you are a Dallas ISD student and do not have access to your test scores, you can always call the Centralized Enrollment Department for assistance on uploading test scores. Or you can go to your school counselor to obtain those test scores. So programs that we offer with our secondary magnet schools, we have single gender schools, Montessori schools, tag schools, STEM, multiple careers, two-way dual language tag, and performing and visual arts. Students must apply by January 31st. You can change your options through January 31st. So you can always come back into your application and change your options. If once you visit the open house, if you decide that's not the best fit, you can always change your options through January 31st. Next slide. So these are just some of the middle school programs that we have. With our middle school programs and our high school programs, students can select up to 2 magnet schools. The reason the limit is 2 is because an assessment, students must complete an assessment at the magnet school. Once you apply and your application is deemed eligible, the school will notify you of your assessment appointment through email. So make sure that your email address on your application is updated. Also, the schools, you can select up to 5 schools, 2 magnet. You want to rank your schools like Valerie said, ranking is important. The system will try to place you at your first choice school first, and that process runs concurrently for all schools. So it is possible that by the time you get to your second or third choice, they may not be spots available because, of course, students that placed ranked at first are also being trying to get into their first choice school. So ranking is important. Students that live within Dallas ISD do get priority. Everybody can apply, but if you live within the Dallas ISD school boundaries, you will be placed before an out-of-district student. Is there a next slide to this? Oh, our high school programs. The same, our high school programs work the same as our middle school programs. Students have to meet eligibility. Students must apply by January 31st and provide their most recent report card and test scores. Next slide. So some of our high school programs include the 6 Townview schools, Booker T. Washington, Skyline, Irma Rangel, and Obama. If you need additional information, you can contact myself, Nancy Rubio, Mayra Andrade, or Shatera Walter. We also have, you can also reach out to us through the Dallas ISD Let's Talk magnet page. We also have our open house dates listed on the Choose Dallas ISD website and our question and answer portion of that page as well. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you, Nancy. So we do have a lot of options within our magnet programs, but those are not the only options we have with our specialized programs and schools. The magnet programs do have a lot of requirements for admission, so definitely be aware of those. As Nancy mentioned, those requirements are available.
I can go over those,
Okay.
Mari Carmen. I'm sorry, I didn't know there was another slide. I think
No problem.
But yes, most of our magnet programs, the GPA minimum to apply is 75, and this is your cumulative GPA on your report card. For most of our programs, the minimum test score requirement is the 40th percentile. That is for our Montessori, single gender, and STEM schools, multiple careers and STEM schools. Our TAG programs, including Science and Engineering Magnet at Townview, require an 80 GPA minimum and a 70th percentile on test scores. If your student is comes from a charter school, private school, or an out-of-district school and does not have test scores, the district can provide them a norm reference test. Again, the student must apply by January 31st. The school will reach out if the student does not include test scores and schedule those students for that test, for that testing, which takes place. First testing date is January 18th, a Saturday at Townview Center. So if you do not have test scores, reach out to the school, apply first, and then reach out to the school, and the school will schedule that test for students who do not have test scores. After the student has met eligibility, the student will be scheduled for an assessment, the same as the middle schools. And acceptance will be based on the assessment score the student receives on the test that they take at the campus. Next slide. So the selection process for a magnet, we do have a formula. And this formula, this 30-70 formula, applies for students that live within Dallas ISD. Based on the assessment score the student receives at the magnet school they apply to, 30% of those seats will be given to the students that score the highest on the assessment. The remaining 70% of those seats will be divided up among the Dallas ISD feeder patterns. So just because you receive a eligibility notice does not mean you are have received a seat. I think there's a lot of confusion with that. If you receive an eligibility notice, that just means you move into the assessment process and you will be entered in the selection process, which is a 30-70 selection process. We do have a sibling rule and sibling preference, which applies to students applying to middle schools through middle schools. We don't have a sibling rule or preference for high schools, but if your student is at a middle school campus or a school that runs from elementary to middle school grades and will continue there the next year, they will get a sibling preference or the sibling rule will apply, which is two different ones. Sibling rule applies to our middle school programs where they get 5 points added to their assessment. And then our sibling preference is for our two Montessori schools where the students get a priority if they pass the assessment with a score of a 70 and are in district. So the selection process again applies to in-district students. Our out-of-district students are placed after our in-district students. Next slide.
And
so if you have any questions, reach out to our magnet department or our centralized enrollment department. We're more than happy to assist.
Okay.
Thank you, Mari Carmen.
You're welcome, Nancy. Thank you so much. And as I mentioned, so magnets are just one of the many programs we have available for our high school students. So P-TECH is one of the programs that we have just for high school. They're not P-TECH is not available at the middle school, but let's have our P-TECH representative tell us about these programs. They're actually super innovative. They're great. They have been incredibly successful. They're award-winning. We're like famous for them across the state, and it's a really great program for our students and your children. So.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Danielle Taiski, Program Specialist for P-TECH and Early College High School Programs, and my co-presenter is Dr. Hodges, which is one of my colleagues, which is a Program Specialist for P-TECH and Early College Programs as well. I will start off by, first off, if you have any extra questions pertaining to P-TECH and Early College High School Programs, you guys can utilize the QR code that is in the upper right-hand corner, and it will send you to the brochure. So it shows the different pathways as well as the schools that are attached and the industry partners. So I would like to first start off by discussing what is early college high school. So early college high school is a portion of P-TECH and early college programs where you earn up to 60 credit hours with no cost to the students and parents. What I mean by that, it is free. We have higher education partners in which we have all of our P-TECH and early college high school programs that are spanned throughout the 5 community colleges in Dallas College feeder pattern. And then we also have 2 university partners, which is Texas A&M Commerce, which is now known as East Texas University, and also UNT Dallas. The end point or the end goal for early college high school is that the students receive either an Associates of Arts degree or an Associates of Science degree in the pathways. P-TECH is a little bit different. Where early college high school is solely Associates of Arts and Associates of Science, P-TECH attaches the pathways, which ties into the industry partners. You still earn up to 60 credit hours at no cost to the students and or parents. And we also have the high educational partners, which is, like I said before, the 5 community colleges for Dallas College, UNT Dallas, and East Texas University. But within the P-TECH umbrella, you have specific pathways to an associate's degree aligned to workforce needs. The students that are within the P-TECH conundrum, they also receive industry partner backing, and also they get soft skills that will enable them to go into the workforce a little bit earlier. Next slide, please. And now I'm going to pitch it off to Dr. Hodges to talk to you guys about the Dallas ISD P-TECH and early college high school goals and outputs.
Okay, so good morning. So first of all, of course, these are high school students. And so, of course, we work very hard to make sure that they meet all requirements for their high school diploma, as well as gaining graduation endorsements. And as Ms. Taiski mentioned, we offer a plethora of opportunities for them to earn up to 60 college credit hours, which is phenomenal, at no cost to students and parents. Also, as mentioned, the associate's degree options that we offer, there are so many pathways, so many opportunities for students to earn their associate degree requirements while they transition into four-year universities, which there are many options. They also earn career and technology certifications, and these are, industry-based certifications that are the high need industry careers in the city and the surrounding areas. Many career opportunities are offered through our industry partners. They offer mentoring through the workplace learning environment, work site visits, internships, not just unpaid, but paid internships for our students. So these are great opportunities for students in partnership with all of the higher education institutions, the business industry partners in the city, as well as all of the Dallas ISD staff. And I want to mention that these students are also first in line for job interviews when it comes to any of the industry partners offering positions. And so this is just a great opportunity being provided for our students if they choose to go the P-TECH path for high school.
Next slide, please. So to give a wrap up to the accolades that has been brought about by our students in Dallas ISD, this is just a synopsis of the growth that we've had since 2016 in the P-TECH and early college high school programs. Early college started a little bit earlier, which was in the 2006-2007 school year. But for the P-TECH for the P-TECH program itself, it has branched out to reach students that have earned over 394,000 college credit hours without any cost to the parents. And as I wrap this up, I want to leave you with this. As an 18-year-old, your child will graduate with an associate's degree. By 19, they will have a bachelor's degree. By 21, they have the possibility of having a master's degree. And by 24, somebody can be calling them doctor. And that's the reality of our P-TECH and early college high school programs. We teach our students that the impossible is possible through our programs that we serve and our programs that we have. We have open house information that is located on the Q&A session of the www.dallasisd.org Discover website. And if there's any questions and or concern, please reach us. Thank you so much for your time and have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the information. And again, really, P-TECH is a great program, and we have so many testimonials from students who have, I remember there's this one student who talked about how they were able to buy a house and I mean, like super early. Like we hear about young people can't buy houses. Because of this program, they kickstarted their life in such a way that they really didn't dream they'd be able to. So it's really a worthwhile program to look into. And it makes me so proud to work for a district that offers that opportunity for our students. So if you have any questions about the program, go to www.dallasisd.org/discover, and you can see the open houses there, as I mentioned, and you can see more information about the program. You can, if you have any questions about the application or how to, or about the different programs, you can call 972-925-5560, Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 5. Or you can call the phone bank today from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and get that help. And we have checked that it is working. The phone lines are working right now, so you can call right now and get that get your questions answered. We will have it again till 1 p.m. So after we're done with this, there'll be a little bit of time. So if you get all the information you wanted from this and you start filling out that application and you hit a snag, they'll be able to help you out. Next, we have for the Office of Transformation and Innovation. This is another set of choices of programs for students that are available at the middle and high school levels. And I believe it's Valerie Barron who will be walking us through these programs.
Yes, thank you, Mari Carmen. So a little bit of our transformation schools. These schools are designed around innovative models. So they offer a specialized academic programming similar to magnet schools. So there's also programs or schools that offer STEM, personalized learning. Just to mention a few, they're Montessori as well. For our transformation schools, they do not have attendance boundaries. So any student can apply to attend. There is no academic entry requirements. That's what is different from transformation schools and magnet schools. For transformation schools, there are no academic entry requirements. For the students are selected for enrollment through a randomized lottery, and the seats are awarded based on a 50-50 socioeconomic lottery for most of our schools. And this is also where transportation is provided for students living within district boundaries. Next slide. I have added here some campuses, although some of them mentioned that they start off in the elementary grade levels. I did include them because they also extend to middle school and high school. So here are a few options. If you're interested in a Montessori program and your student is in the middle school grade, you have the option to select Downtown Montessori, Onesimo Hernandez, Eduardo Mata Montessori. If you're wanting in a standalone middle school, Ignite Middle School offers a personalized learning. And then you also have the option of a STEAM school, which we do offer whole C STEAM there from 6th through 8th grade. There are some also single gender campuses that Transformation has that go into our middle school grades. That would be our Solar Girls and Solar Boys schools. And going into the high school grade, we now have Young Women's STEAM Academy, which is a all-girls school there, and that is the high school grades. We also have campuses that focus on a project-based learning. For those examples, we have City Lamb High School and New Tech High School. If your child is already in a personalized learning program, and you wanted to kind of continue that within middle school, again, you do have Ignite Middle School, but then also continuing into high school, we also offer IDEA. So Innovation Design Entrepreneurship Academy is one of your options there. And again, these are just a few of our school options. Feel free to kind of visit our website to kind of learn a little bit more. And if you can continue on to the next slide. Really briefly here, I did want to share the required documents when you apply to our transformation schools. The document that you are going to be required to upload is the proof of address. We ask that if you're living with a family member, along with providing a appropriate a bill or lease contract or mortgage statement from the person that you're staying with, you also provide a written statement from that person stating that you do reside there. That is going to be required if you are living with a family member. The next one is a proof of income. Like I mentioned, most of our schools do have a 50-50 socioeconomic policy there. So we do want you to answer this section. If you do receive SNAP, you will select yes, that you do receive SNAP, but you will be needing to upload that proof of SNAP in the proof of income section. If you wish to not provide your income, that is definitely fine. There is a section within the range in which you can select the radio button that says I prefer not to provide this information. If you do that, we ask that you please provide the proof of address in place of the proof of income. And once more, you can visit our website, or you can give us a call as well if you do need any assistance with applying there. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you. So those are other really great choices for your students. And so we have a program. It's we've extended it little by little. It's extended from elementary to secondary schools, middle and high school, our dual language program. And we have somebody, and I'm so sorry, I forgot who it is, who's going to.
Yeah. Oh, my name. I'm Angela Santoyo, and I am a dual language specialist with Dual Language ESL, and I am going to be accompanied by Luis Jordan, who is also a dual language specialist, campus support. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about how you can continue to support your child's journey to becoming bilingual and biliterate through the dual language program. And so what our secondary dual language program does is it continues to develop and strengthen thinking and problem-solving skills through opportunities to listen, speak, read, write, think in Spanish and English, while increasing global awareness and cultural diversity. In the secondary dual language program, the students will take 2 classes in Spanish. The rest of the classes are in English. These are our middle school Offerings, so we have Hotchkiss, which is a K-8 campus, J.L. Long and Richard Steam Academy, Rosemont, which is also a 4-8 campus, Alexander Prep, School for the Talented and Gifted in Pleasant Grove, E.D. Walker, and Walnut Hill International Leadership Academy. This is our articulation plan or our pathway for our middle school students. As I mentioned, each student will take 2 classes in Spanish, 100% in Spanish, and the rest of their classes are in English. For example, 6th grade will take their Reading Language Arts course in Spanish, plus 1 more core content in Spanish, and all other courses are in English. Once they get into 7th grade, they will have 1 core content course in Spanish and then a Spanish LOT class. And then all their other courses are in English. And so I'm going to pass it over to Luis Jordan, and he will go over the high school pathway with you.
Thank you, Angela. The high schools that we have in the secondary dual language program are North Dallas High School, Sunset High School, W.T. White High School, and Woodrow Wilson High School. Next slide, please. Similar to the middle school path, the high school pathway for the courses is going to be 2 courses in Spanish, which are going to be a core content plus a Spanish LOT, and the other courses are going to be in English. This is going to be 9th grade to 12th grade. Thank you so much.
Okay. Is there more for this program, or is that it? Oh yeah, Career Institutes. Thank you so much for the dual language. And this is another program, Career Institutes, that are not available for our middle schools. But there was a question about, what is out there for students that are like in junior, senior. This might be a good program for students in those grades. Who is here? I swear I cannot remember my name if I tried.
Damian Hernandez.
Yes. I know you introduced yourself, Damian Hernandez, earlier, and I couldn't remember. Damian will tell us about our Career Institutes, which is it's a relatively new program that we have in the district, but it's already a great success. And so tell us how this can help our students succeed.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Damian Hernandez. Thank you, Mari Carmen, for bringing this community together, because it does take a village. Again, my name is Damian Hernandez, and I'm the instructional specialist at Career Institute North. And I'd like to recognize my colleague from Career Institute South, Ms. Sonoris Rosas Padilla. Good morning. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I'm very happy to be here. I would like to say that Career Institute North and Career Institute South, Career Institute East, and the future Career Institute West, we'd like to say that we are developing leaders and building futures. And the reason I say that is because we know that our students are looking to find themselves. Dallas ISD Career Institutes provide students access to the training and career programs that are not available in their home campuses. Career Institute deliver a series of manageable courses, projects, and experiential learning opportunities that lead to successful completion of internships, industry certifications, credentials that are important and recognized in the industries that we are targeting. Because we know that there's going to be more than 20,000 new construction jobs in the Dallas ISD service area in the next 3 years. So construction is expected to continue rising, and these programs of study that we'd like to call are special career opportunities that have been targeted because we did a rigorous socioeconomic study of the area, and we know that the jobs are going to be out there for our students. And each of the career institutes serve different high schools within the areas, and as you can tell from the map on the right, they are strategically placed so that the district can be covered and serve these schools. And typically, what happens is that the students take a Dallas ISD school bus from their high school, and they are at Career Institute for half of the day, every other day. And students participate in hands-on training in their Career Institute courses, led by current and former leaders of each industry. And these are, if we can go to the next slide, please. These are the different clusters or groups: architecture and construction, health science, transportation, distribution and logistics, information technology, and manufacturing. Those are the clusters. And within those clusters, within those groups, we have the programs of study, which include construction, electrical, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC, masonry, plumbing, interior design and architecture. We have patient care technicians, pharmacy technicians, EKG and phlebotomy, emergency medical technician, and dental assistants. These are under our health science cluster. We also have aviation, where students can earn their pilot's license. We have automotive under the transportation program. We have cybersecurity, game design, software design, which includes game, web design, app design, software design. And we also have mechatronics, which includes electronics technology. And all these programs of study offer amazing opportunities for the students. I can tell you that our latest industry partner has offered a certification in conjunction with Dallas College. Texas Instruments has offered to guarantee a job for our students if they earn their certification with Dallas, in conjunction with Dallas College. So we're very proud of those types of opportunities. And the next slide is an example of a program of study, what the course, the program looks like. All our freshmen take a principles course, and their sophomore and junior year, they as you can tell from the HVAC course, they go to an HVAC technology 1, HVAC technology 2, and our seniors can partake if they have the credits and the schedule to participate in a practicum, which is actually the schedule would be going into an industry position like a job or an internship, where they can learn in the career opportunity that the district is developing with our industry partners. And below are samples of the industry certifications that the students will be attempting each year, from freshman through senior. So as you can tell, and these are also they are free for the students. These certifications are real industry certifications that do cost. They're available, but our students do not get charged for these certifications, and they're able to accumulate these and stand strong at the end of their path, at the end of their journey in the career institutes. So it's a very exciting slew of opportunities for our students, and it's very punctual to call this a discovery. I invite you to inform yourself at our website at dallasisd.org/career institutes, where you will find more detailed information on each of these programs of study. And I know I've talked a lot, but if Sonidis, if you would like to add anything, please feel free. thank you for your time, and I look forward to our future high school students being part of the Career Institute programs. Sonidis.
Thank you, Damien. Briefly, I just want to say that each of the Career Institutes conducts similar programs, and we also invite our middle school students to visit and tour our facilities. We have our counselors guiding advisement tours. So if your students are current eighth graders, they may have been participating in one of these tours or will be participating in one of these tours soon. We also had the middle school expo, and other open houses will be announced for the second semester. So I'm pretty sure those dates will be shared in our website that Damien shared, and I will include that in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Mari Carmen, and thank you everyone that made this possible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all the information. And just a reminder that we've been answering questions in the Q&A. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to add them there. We'll be answering some of those questions live in a little bit here too. And now we have, because we do get a lot of questions about special education services in some of these specialized programs in schools. And we have Sherry Thrasher Campbell to give us some information about the those special education services and how they work.
Thank you, Mari Carmen. Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Sherry Thrasher Campbell. And looking at the screen, we just want to remind everyone that Dallas ISD does have over 140,000 students. And out of those 140,000 students, over 17,000 of those students receive special education services. That means your child has an individualized educational plan or an IEP. And so we always want to remind everyone that all of our students are gen ed students first. So we do serve our students at these programs and campuses. Next slide, please. Also, the district has a continuum of services, so we do offer services for all of our students, whether there are external support, whether they receive in-class support, that's in our inclusion setting, in our ECSC collaborative setting, or whether they receive support in our specialized programs, our behavior units, our ECSC self-contained resource and specialized programs. We do offer a continuum of services in Dallas ISD. Next slide, please. And finally, we just want to remind everyone that Dallas ISD offers a continuum of services across the district. Inclusion services are offered at all campuses, but not all specialized programs are offered at every campus. You will need to contact that campus of interest for more information on the availability of those specialized programs, and you can always reach out to the Special Services Department if you have questions about whether or not your child is eligible for a particular program or a particular campus. Thank you, Mari Carmen.
Thank you. And I do want to, before we get into the questions, I do want to clarify that while the Career Institute, it's a fantastic program and certainly something you need to look into for your kids if you think this is something they will benefit from. They're not part of the application because they're not they're not a separate school. They're a program that works in conjunction with the neighborhood or legacy school, high school that your student attends. So this is something that if you're interested in, you don't have to apply for it here through this application. This is something, it's not one of the 5 choices. You do, it would be great if you could speak with your counselor, your academic counselor at the high school to see how your student can access this program and benefit from it. Because, those certifications that they can get to from the different programs that are offered would be great, but it's not an application-based program. It's something that you have to go through the high school that the student is attending, because depending, as you saw from the map, depending on where the what high school the student is attending, it depends on what career institute they'll attend and all that. So it's great. The best way to access that program is through the counselor at the high school. So there's something else that I'm seeing a lot of the questions, and now we are starting with the questions. How to access, can students access P-TECH or early college if they're already if they're in ninth grade now? How do they access if they want to then go into 10th grade? So you cannot apply, it'll not show up in your application if you're not applying to ninth grade, because that is the only way that you can apply for it is in the ninth grade. But I don't know if the P-TECH folks can speak about entering the program at a later grade, if that is at all a possibility, and if it is, how would you go about that?
So entering the program after the ninth grade, it's on a case-by-case basis for the campus. 10th grade, like I said, it's case-by-case, but keep in mind that the students take college credit hours during the freshman year. So when they come in, they will be off track. So that's one of the parameters that we have in place. For the 11th and 12th grade year, it is not likely for the student to be accepted into the P-TECH program because by that time, they have already acquired roughly 12 credit hours for college credit that has been duly transcribed for high school and college credit respectfully. So like I said, it's on a case-by-case basis. You can contact the campus and see their parameters in place to see whether or not they will be able to, provide an interview for your scholar. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So I hope that answers that question, because it's such a specific program that, yeah, you have to, and that's why it doesn't show up on the application. If you're trying to apply to a P-TECH program for the 10th grade, the application will not let you. So talk to your school, talk to the school that you're interested in attending if you are, if you're interested, and we'll see how it goes. But other questions that we've gotten is, where can we see the dates for the school's open houses? You can find those at www.dallasisd.org/discover in two places. You can go to the FAQs on that page. There's a question about open houses. The information is found there. Or you can go to each of the programs icons, and the information for the open houses for those programs are also found there. So either place, or you can also contact the school directly, and if you're interested in one particular school and you don't see the information because maybe it's already passed, they might be able to schedule a visit for you. Reminding you that you can call 972-925-5560 till 1 o'clock today to get help with your application or to get some other questions answered if you have those. Another question that we've been getting a lot during this presentation is about sports. A lot of students who want to participate who want to attend magnet programs, but also want to participate in sports, can they participate in sports in the magnet programs? So not with the magnet school. So if you're attending, for example, the School of Business at Townview, you're not going to play sports at the School of Business, but you can play sports at your home school. And I don't know, Nancy, if you want to talk a little bit more about how that works.
Thank you, Mari Carmen. So yes, that is correct. If the magnet school does not offer programs at that particular school, the school can participate at their home campus. Of course, if you are at a magnet school such as Skyline that does offer sports, then you can participate at Skyline.
Great.
Thank
And
you.
while I have you here, there's a few other magnet school questions. So, does the sibling rule that you have for elementary magnet schools, does it apply for high school? Like if you already have a sibling attending, for example, Booker T. Washington, would consideration or points be given to another sibling who's applying for that school?
No. So sibling preference or sibling rule does not apply to high schools. It goes through our 8th grade. So if you were at a middle school and had a student rolling over to 8th grade, the student would get a sibling. The sibling rule would apply to the student applying to a lower grade level.
Okay. And if they're currently enrolled at a magnet school, they don't, and I guess this applies not just to magnet, but to innovation schools and P-Tech. If they're enrolled in the school now, they don't need to apply for next year.
That is correct. They do not need to apply. They will automatically roll over to the next school year. Okay,
great. Thank you so much. So, this is a question, and maybe Valerie or Jorge can answer. People are, and it's a few questions. The people are trying to apply to a particular school, but the school is not showing up in the application. What are the reasons that this might be?
So the reasons of why you would not be able to see a school listed under the school selection is because the campus is possibly your zone school. Right above the map, when you're on the selected school section, there's going to be a map. A little above the map, there's going to be a zone school square, and it's usually grayed out. If there's a school name listed there, that school will not appear for the neighborhood school on the school selection page. If it does appear on the school selection page, it's possibly because it has a different program. It could be a P-Tech program or a two-way dual language program. But that's one of the reasons why. Another reason why a school would not appear is if the grade that you are applying is not available. So similar to P-Tech, if your student is entering 10th grade or 11th grade or 12th grade or 8th, because it's only open for 9th graders, you will not see the P-Tech program on the school selection page. But those are the reasons why a parent would not be able to see a school there.
Okay, great. And so these are the kinds of questions that, like, if you find that problem, these are the kind of questions that are really great to ask the phone bank that we have until 1. If you're encountering this problem when filling out the application, and that number is 972-925-5560, or to contact the One Centers Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. I know we have a few more questions that are being answered in the Q&A. We have gone quite a bit over our allotted time for this. I just want to remind you that, and we're still answering we have a few more minutes here with you all. But I wanted to let you know that a recording for this will be available at www.dallasisd.org/discover next week. And you have until January 31st to complete your application. One question that does come up a lot, and Valerie, if you can address it, is the ranking of the schools. The importance of ranking your preferred school first, and then your second choice and third choice. Why is it important to do it this way?
Yes, so it's important for you to select the ranking in number one being your number one most preferred, the school that you really, really want to go to, and then your second, third, fourth, and fifth, and just to kind of mention as an example, because when you receive the notification of what the results were on the lottery basis, the lottery is going to try to get you the number one choice. But if it happened where the student landed on the wait list for your first and second choice, but you got an offer at your third choice, your fourth and your fifth choice will not be available anymore. So we do want to make sure that you understand that you rank them in the order that your most preferred is your number one choice. Because once that lottery runs, again, if you're offered at your third choice, it's most likely then that you're waitlisted on your second and first choice, which is why it gave you the highest offer that it possibly could. So because it gave you that third choice, your fourth and fifth choice, you will not have a option there. Again, if that's the case, you would need to wait. If it so happens that your fourth and fifth choice were in reality what you really wanted, you will need to wait until the second round, which happens in March, to see if they have possible seats available or if they're still open for second round. So which is why it's really important for you to make that selection appropriately. And you do have until January 31st to rank your schools, to make your school selections, to change any possible. You might have gone to a open house and you might have decided, you know what, I think I want to move this as my first choice. You have all of those choices to make before January 31st. After the January 31st date, there will be no changes made. And again, that's to allow the lottery to run.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So this is important information to know as you're filling out the application. The ranking is pretty essential. And we are going to have another one of these. We're going to combine elementary and secondary programs into one big webinar it starts at 10 on January 18th. So we'll hopefully, if you still have questions, if you want to hear more about the programs, we will see you then. If you already know what you want to do, fill out your application now. There's no, or you can wait till January 31st. There's no advantage to doing it now or waiting till the end, just as long as you do submit it by the 31st. And if you have any questions, again, the phone bank till 1 o'clock today, 972-925-5560. I want to thank all the panelists who were here with us today to present information about their programs and to answer your questions. This is so incredibly helpful for our parents and our students to get this kind of information to make the decisions, to get to find the programs that best fit their students' education. I'm glad we can make it happen for you all. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Saturday and that you have a great rest of the weekend. And thank you so much for joining us today. And if you have any questions left, you can always give us a call at 972-925-5560. Thank you so much.